So welcome to the Keewatin, built in 1907 in Govan, Scotland, which is a suburb of Glasgow, part of the Clyde shipbuilding empire that went on for hundreds and hundreds of years. This ship was built during the Edwardian period, a period that saw 3,800 steamships built in that Clyde River. Keewatin is the very last one left in the world, which is quite an incredible thing that she's right here in Port McNicoll. I was a waiter on this ship in 1963 and 64, and they used to bring those big beast cars, 57 Pontiacs and 59 Cadillacs, and we could put 40 cars on this deck. Now, how they did it, I still to this day am amazed, as I'm sure glad that I wasn't trying to drive them. But it's about 10,000 square feet down here. And when we get the ship finally done and open to the public, this will be a community area where we'll be able to have weekend markets or antique shows, or it can be used for just about anything. It's all steel, it's insulated, it's got power, and you're able to get on and off without having to go through the rest of the ship. So it's kind of a neat place. This is a very sophisticated ship when it was built, and it followed in a whole tradition of shipbuilding. It was not only on the Clyde, but it was also in Belfast in Northern Ireland. We have everything that you would see on Titanic on this ship, but just smaller. Now, this is the first of a set of a number of grand staircases, but beautiful, hand-milled wood. We have on this ship oak, cherry, BC cedar, and walnut. So it really is quite exquisite. When the passengers would first get to Port McNicoll, they would get off a train behind me and come on and see the purser. So if you want to come over and see the purser's office, then I'll take you up to where the bellhops would take them through. So the purser lived in his office, and he had the safe in here, and he would keep track of all of the customers that would use the hotel. He would be the first person you'd meet when you got on the ship, and he would choose a room for you, give you your room key, and he would call the porters, and they would come and take your bags and take you up to your room. So we're going to go up the grand staircase, and I'll show you where the rooms are. So, would you like to come down here? This is towards the stern of the ship. There were 102 rooms on board, of which 7 had ensuite bathrooms. Now you have to go back to remember that this was built in 1907, and people weren't used to having bathrooms in houses, or not a lot of people were. But there were some that were, so they had 7 rooms with en-suites, of which you can see 2 of them here. We used to call them Bridal Suites. The barbershop was an active little place on the ship. It was run by a fellow that was a franchisee, you could call him, because he wasn't a member of the crew. The gentleman that was on board for a number of years and was on board when I was on was the barber at Hart House at University of Toronto in the wintertime. And he worked on the ship in the summer. And as you can see, he lived in here as well. And he would also sell souvenirs from this lovely case in front of us. And he would handle the mail and sell you stamps. And in the old days, apparently, he did a little dentistry work too when he really had to, but that's only been rumor. I can't really prove that. But it's a neat little room, and it's the equipment is in absolutely incredible condition. And I love the sink. It's really something that's right out of history.